A 28-second rally in a major Asian championship has turned into something far bigger than a single point, because the exhausting exchange that ended with Japan taking a 25-21-second set against Taiwan also triggered a $1,400 donation to a volleyball foundation, meaning that every extra second the players kept the ball alive on the court created an impact far beyond the match itself. At the moment Japan needed just one more point to move closer to a straight-set victory. Neither side would give in, and what looked like an ordinary battle for a crucial point unexpectedly became an act of goodwill worth around 220,000 Japanese yen, adding an entirely different meaning to a rally that had already captured the intensity of the quarterfinal. But before that 28-second exchange could become a symbol of something bigger, Japan first had to survive a difficult stretch in the set and complete a performance that would put the team just 2 victories away from both a long-awaited Asian title and a place at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Japan entered the quarterfinals having already established itself as one of the strongest teams in the tournament, and its path through the preliminary round had been remarkably convincing, with straight-set victories over Hong Kong, South Korea, and Vietnam giving the team momentum before the knockout stage began. Yet the quarterfinal against Taiwan presented a different kind of challenge because a single match now separated Japan from the Final Four, and the pressure of the championship was beginning to increase with every point. Ranked 6th in the world, Japan faced a Taiwan side ranked 37th, and while the difference in world ranking suggested a clear advantage, the second set demonstrated why knockout volleyball can never be treated as a simple matter of numbers. The opening set quickly showed Japan's control, as the team established its rhythm and eventually closed out the set 25-14, putting Taiwan under immediate pressure. Japan had already won all 3 of its preliminary matches without dropping a set, and now the same objective was within reach in the quarterfinal, but the second set became much more complicated. Taiwan managed to build a maximum lead of 5 points during the early stages, forcing Japan to respond rather than simply dictate the pace of the match. Instead of allowing that deficit to determine the direction of the set, Japan gradually fought its way back, turning the momentum around and creating the kind of tense finish that would ultimately produce the most memorable sequence of the entire match. As Japan moved toward the decisive moments of the second set, the score reached 24-21, giving Japan set point and the opportunity to move within one set of a place in the semifinals. What followed was a rally lasting approximately 28 seconds, an unusually long exchange at such a critical stage, with both teams repeatedly refusing to let the point end. Every continuation extended the tension, because Japan was only one successful attack away from taking the set while Taiwan remained determined to keep the game alive. Eventually, the rally reached its conclusion when Kitamoto delivered the successful spike, allowing Japan to claim the set 25-21 and move one step closer to completing the sweep. At first, the significance of those 28 seconds appeared to be purely sporting, because the rally had helped Japan take control of the match at one of its most important moments. However, the story changed when tournament organizers and a partner announced that the rally would also generate a donation to a volleyball foundation. The longer the rally lasted, the larger the impact beyond the court, and the 28-second exchange resulted in a contribution of $1,400. In other words, a point that began as a fierce contest between Japan and Taiwan ended by creating a tangible benefit for the wider volleyball community, turning an intense sporting moment into an unexpected example of how competition can produce something positive beyond the final score. That development gave the rally a second layer of meaning, because the players were fighting for a single point without knowing that their persistence would eventually contribute to a charitable cause. For Japan, however, there was still a much larger objective waiting beyond the quarterfinal. With the second set secured, the team entered the third set with a chance to finish the match without allowing Taiwan back into the contest, and Japan did exactly that. The final set ended 25-13, completing a 3-0 victory with scores of 25-14, 25-21, and 25-13 and sending Japan into the semifinals. The result continued Japan's perfect run through the championship, but more importantly, it placed the team only 2 victories away from a title that has not been won by Japan for 7 years. At the same time, the tournament carries an even greater prize because winning the championship would secure Japan's qualification for the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. That means the remaining matches are not simply another stage of an Asian Championship, they represent a direct opportunity to take a major step toward the biggest international stage in the sport. Japan now has 2 victories between itself and that possibility, making every set, every rally, and every recovery increasingly important. However, the next challenge could hardly be more significant, because Japan's semi-final opponent will be Thailand, the defending champion from the previous edition in 2023. Thailand has already demonstrated its ability to win this tournament, and Japan will therefore face a team with both recent championship experience and the determination to defend its position at the top of Asian women's volleyball. The quarterfinal against Taiwan showed that Japan can respond when momentum turns against it, and the recovery from a 5-point deficit in the second set may prove especially valuable as the competition becomes even more demanding. There is also another path toward Olympic qualification if Japan does not win this tournament, with opportunities remaining through the 2027 World Cup and through the world rankings at the conclusion of the preliminary round of the 2028 Nations League. Yet the most immediate route is now directly in front of the team, and that makes the semi-final against Thailand the next defining chapter. Looking back, the most remarkable part of Japan's quarterfinal victory may not simply be the 3-0 scoreline, the perfect preliminary round record, or even the return to the Final Four. It may be those 28 seconds when neither Japan nor Taiwan allowed the ball to fall, because in that brief stretch the importance of the match expanded beyond winning and losing. The rally helped Japan secure a crucial set, pushed the team closer to its championship and Olympic goals, and ultimately generated a $1,400 donation to support volleyball. Now, with Thailand waiting in the semi-final and only 2 victories separating Japan from an Asian title and Olympic qualification, the team moves forward knowing that sometimes the most meaningful moments in sport are not only measured by the points that appear on the scoreboard, but also by the impact those moments can create far beyond the court.